Hey everyone, this is going to be a quick little video. I want to show you something you probably don't see every day, and it's sitting right behind me. As you can see, it's a Belarus 7100M. Probably the biggest tractor I've ever been around. Let's climb up and look at the engine. So if you look on tractor data, it actually says this has a 12-cylinder engine in it, and as you can see, this is just a big V8. But if you look back here, let me get my light back here, and you see that turbocharger back there. So I believe that the first tractors had a 12-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, and then they went to a turbocharged V8 that puts out probably around just shy of 300 PTO horsepower. But you can kind of see there's enough space here at the front of the chassis that you could have fit a 12-cylinder engine in here, and this fan would have been up here inside this shroud. So it looks like even maybe there was at one time a shroud extension that came back here so that you're sucking more air through this massive radiator. Look at that. Such a big machine. Let's go inside the cab. So you really do have to climb up a ladder to get into the cab here. There we go. Oh, the headliner's coming down a little bit. Let's climb in here. It looks like that might be some sort of serial number. 930553. Oh, look, right here. Apparently where this was sold up in Wisconsin, yeah, the serial number is 930553. All of these other placards are all in Russian as well. If you look here, so here's your transmissions. You've got 3 sticks back here, and then you've got 2 sticks right here. And then this, I don't know what this is. Maybe this is throttle or hydraulics. I don't know. Down here, you do have your foot throttle, clutch, and brakes. Just a huge machine. Here's the dash on it. Just everything. Everything is all in Russian. See? It's crazy. But man, if you look out the window here, I know it's dirty. But believe me, you have very poor visibility out the front. And very poor visibility out the back too. Can't really see to hook up anything. They say that when you start this thing, make sure you're out in an open field, because if you don't have these sticks right for your transmission, it'll start moving and it'll run over whatever's in front or behind you. So in a barn like this, they always pull it out with another tractor and then start it. That's too bad that headliner's coming down. I'll have to pin it back up in place. Honestly, this thing's probably 14 feet tall, and I've just climbed down here. I'm 6 feet tall, And this platform right here is just about my eye level. And then down here, you can see all of the U-joints between your transmission up here, and then back here, your drive line. It's so massive. The tires on this are 30.5 by 32. It's up on blocks just so that then the tires, if they have a little leak, they won't go flat over time. You've even got leaf springs on this. So after I shot all of the footage for this video, and as I was piecing all of those clips of video together and doing the editing, I was trying to find some more information on the tractor, and it was pretty hard to find much information. And the information that I could find on a Belarus 7100M was kind of contradictory with each other. Some said, like, for example, some said it had a V12 and some said it had a V8. You know, and I mentioned that in the video, but I kept on going back to that nameplate that said K-701M. So what I did is I took that nameplate and I threw it into ChatGPT and I had it translate it. And the translation of that ID tag came back with the top text in Russian saying Production Association Kirov Plant, which is, I believe, doing a little bit more research, that was a Soviet-era heavy equipment manufacturer in St. Petersburg. And then the next line beneath that translates to Kirovets tractor model K-701M. Beneath that, we've got the serial number and the date, manufactured in 1993. Remember that, 1993. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then the last line down at the bottom says, made in CCCP, which is the USSR. So that helped me out a lot. Instead of searching for Belarus 7100M, I started searching for Kirovets 701M, and I found a lot of videos and I found a lot of photographs of these massive yellow tractors that looked very similar to this Belarus 7100M, working out in the field, doing heavy tillage work. And it was really interesting to look and find those pictures and see that video footage of these Kirovets tractors, because what I'm thinking is that this Belarus 7100M is basically just a rebranded or a rebadged Kirovets 701M that was probably just rebranded to be exported out of Russia or out of the Soviet Union and into the United States. Now, 1993 is kind of interesting because the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. And so we've got a nameplate that says made in USSR, but it also says manufactured in 1993. So it's kind of fun to think back at what was going on in the world at that time. So we've got the Soviet Union collapsing, and we've got this transition period where we've still got big companies like, Kirov, who manufactures tanks and large military equipment, big old trucks and tractors. They're in this transition period and they're still continuing to use the made in USSR nameplates. But probably the most crucial thing was that this name tag says it was manufactured in the Kirov plant, not the Minsk tractor works. And when you look at a Belarus tractor, all of the Belarus tractors seem to be manufactured, well, all of the Belarus built tractors, they were actually built, I think, by the Minsk Tractor Works, which is out of Minsk, rather than the Kirov tractors, which were manufactured out of St. Petersburg or Leningrad, I think.
As well, the Minsk Tractor Works, they never built, as far as I could find doing some research, as far as I can find, they never built a big, huge four-wheel drive articulated tractor like this Belarus 7100M. And in contrast, the Kirovets Tractor Company, they did specialize in making these really big, heavy-duty pieces of equipment. So let's think back to this time frame of 1991 when the Soviet Union just collapsed, and 1993, 1994, right when this tractor was made. The large manufacturing industry in the post-Soviet era has got to be in utter chaos. You've got disintegrating supply chains. You've got these large companies like Kirovets trying to stay afloat, trying to maintain positive cash flow. And how do they do that? Well, they look at exporting their product to other parts of the world, where parts of, Western parts of the world, where you have the need for large equipment like this to work the land. And as I was doing a little bit of research on this, I found a sales brochure picture from Belarus on a 7100M tractor. And looking at the picture that they have there with all of the text there, it is just a complete marketing campaign, trying to compete against, the big articulated tractors over here in the United States and Canada, like the Versatile, like the Case or Steiger tractors, and then John Deere articulated tractors. This sales brochure saying, we've got a 1,051 cubic inch engine, like a 17.2 liter engine, 335 horsepower, deluxe cab, shift on the go, independent PTO. This is just 100% in my mind an export sales brochure, not necessarily an engineering or a technical specifications data sheet. But you're really trying to just put your product out there and make it seem as good as it can appear. So if you can get up above the 300 horsepower, that just makes you that much more competitive against the other articulated tractors of the time. Now, if you're trying to compete with these large companies like Case, Steiger, John Deere, Versatile, cost is going to be a very important point of your product. And I think that this Kirovets 701M exported out of this post-Soviet era Russia into the United States as the Belarus 7100M. I believe the cost of that tractor new in 1993 was about $80,000 to $90,000, whereas a Versatile tractor similar size was more along the lines of probably $130,000 to $170,000, somewhere in there. Case or a Steiger was a little bit higher than that, probably around $140,000 to $180,000, and then John Deere with their big articulated tractors of the time were more along the lines of $160,000 to $220,000, I think. And so you think about it, this Belarus 7100M was essentially half the price of a John Deere 8960, but on paper it offered pretty similar features. And I remember when I was a kid, me and my brother, we went with my dad to the local equipment dealership. I think it was called Meinhardt Equipment in Wamego, Kansas. I don't even know if they're still around, but I remember we picked up a bunch of Belarus brochures, and I think we even wrote them some letters requesting more information. They sent us so much information, and it kind of just goes to show that this company, Belarus, was really trying to get their foot into the door of the tractor business here in the United States. And this tractor, this Belarus 7100M, is a prime example of that. And if you were farming back in 1993 and you needed big horsepower, would you have taken the gamble and bought one of these 7100M tractors? Or did you buy a different Belarus tractor? I'd be interested to know what your experience with the Belarus tractor company is. Were they good tractors? What were the good things about them? What were the bad things about them? In the end, ultimately, I really wish I would have had a chance to see this 7100M run. It belongs to a friend of ours. He's retired, getting out of the farming business, but he still has his big collection of tractors and equipment that he used while he was farming up in Wyoming and down into Idaho. And this 7100M is one of his pieces. At this point, it's more of like a collection piece or a museum piece in his collection. But I told him that if he ever starts it up and takes it out in the field, I want to go up there and I want to make some a video of it, get some footage of that thing operating, because it would be really fun to hear that thing start up, to sit in the driver's, or not the driver's seat, but the buddy seat, and just see it operate, you know. So I wish I could do that. I wish I could have done that. And in the future, hopefully I'll be able to do that. But if that ever happens, you know, I'll put it here on my channel. And, you know, thanks so much for watching the video today, guys. And I'll see you next week with another video.